Hello, everyone. I'm Bailey Brown, reporter with the Eagle newspaper. This morning, I'm joined by College Station City Councilwoman Elizabeth Cunha. Ms.
Good
Cunha,
morning.
good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
Ms. Cunha is joining us for our Women in Leadership series, a series that I've started to celebrate women in leadership roles and highlight all of the exciting things you get to do and how you do it, and just to give words of encouragement and advice for any young ladies out there who might need it. So, if you could, Ms. Cunha, tell me about what you do in your current role and how long you've been doing it.
Sure. So I've been elected to the College Station City Council twice, and I basically it's 20 to 30 hours a week, just trying to make a bridge between the community and the government that seeks to serve that community. And so I spend a lot of time answering emails or listening to resident concerns, and I spend a lot of time learning about the way our city government works and the programs and resources that are available to our residents. And so that when a resident has an issue, I'm like, oh, I know just who you need to talk to, or I can explain this issue a little better. And it's just a great opportunity to provide the transparency that we expect from our government.
Yes, ma'am. And tell me again, when were you elected? What year?
Most recently in 2021.
And then the first time here?
Well, the first time was a 1 year unexpired term.
Oh, that's right.
And so that was just a 1 year term, and then 21 for a 3 year term. So I'll be up in November of 24.
Wow. What's your favorite part of serving as a city councilwoman?
Yeah, so I think my favorite part is just in taking a resident who feels really frustrated and be able to explain the resources that are available or the programs or the why behind what's happening. And you could just see them relax and they're like, oh, that makes perfect sense. And you're like, we have great people working in our city and they want to do a good job. And we have great residents who want to participate in moving our community forward. And when you can communicate to both sides that we're all on the same team and we all want the same thing and we're moving in that direction, it just makes everyone less stressed and more happy, and definitely a more joyful community. And that's my favorite part, is just taking that angst and providing the information to just relax and say, oh yeah, I get it, I understand what we're doing and where we're going and why we're doing it this way. That's definitely been the upside.
Wow, I love that. What made you want to be in this role?
So I work at A&M Consolidated High School. The City of College Station City Council is unpaid, so you don't lose your day job. But in that high school role, my goal, my objective is to get the students graduated, to take them from where they are and get them on that graduation stage and out into the next part of their lives. And I've done it for 17 years. And at one point, I was like, what am I, after they leave that graduation stage, then what? What are my students expecting as far as meaningful job opportunities with a sustainable living wage? What does their amenities look like? Where are they going to live? All these kinds of things. What kinds of transportation options are available to them? And I wanted to make sure that they're graduating into a community where they can thrive and just really embrace adulthood and all that it has to offer. And the city council really is the driver of all of those issues. We think about the federal government and some national politics, but really it's the city politics that most impact your daily life. And I wanted to take my turn at that table so I could make sure that my students are graduating into a community that is ready to receive them and that they want to invest and grow and stay right here in the Brazos Valley for the next chapter of their lives.
Wow, very inspirational. That's beautiful, and I'm sure they're excited to see you in your role as you do that, as much as they can understand about
Yeah.
city government. What motivates you to keep going, and maybe who's someone that's encouraged you along the way?
So it's definitely a family exercise. So my husband spends a lot of time supporting me and keeping my calendar and making sure I get where I need to go, and coming with me as often as he can. So it's definitely a group effort. And then I'm daily working with those students that
Right.
initiated my drive to run, and so those factors continue not only to get me into the seat, but to help me keep going with the energy and vision and drive, and not to lose steam as the years go by. And so really, I think when you're talking about women in leadership, it's important to remember that no one does it alone, right? We're in a democracy, and leadership by design is supposed to be a collaborative effort. And so when you look at great leaders, there's probably great wind under their wings, right? And it's not, you may not be able to see it, but I promise it's there. Nobody does everything by themselves. And I think as women, sometimes we get discouraged when we feel like we're supposed to do it all by ourselves. And then we find out we can't. But then if you push through that, you're like, oh, no one can. Where are the resources that I need to be reaching out for? Where are the partners that I need to make this goal happen? And that's certainly been true in my life. And I try to teach my students and my children that same principle. Nobody does everything by themselves.
Absolutely. Is there any particular person that comes to mind when you think of a motivator or somebody who's either if they're, still here with you or moved on, or anybody who's just kind of just been your rock?
My husband is definitely my rock. I tell you that for me, city council is about 20 to 30 hours a week. For him, it's a good 10 hours a week. I mean, he puts in a lot every week to partner with me and make sure that on the outside it looks like everything's running smoothly,
Right.
because on the inside there's lots
Yeah.
of hands making that happen.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think that's great. Tell me, where in your journey have you felt support as a woman in a leadership role?
So definitely when I was running, there were several women that came and said, "Let me help you." I know Elena Vasali, whose seat I was running for, was very generous in giving me her advice and her tips on her role to the council seat. Several other women stepped up and said, "Here was my role, here was my journey, what it looked like," and having those patterns to follow was very helpful. Um, I I think the glass ceiling was broken by other women. Ann Hazen was our first female city council member, and then we've had two mayors, like Mayor McElhaney and Mayor Barry, that were female. And sometimes we've had city council uh, compositions that were mostly female. And so other people have broken the glass ceiling, but there were specific individuals on my journey that showed me this. Here's how to do it. Here's the forms. Here's what it looks like. And gave me very specific tips for my time, and just very valuable. As women, I think we are obligated to reach out and make leadership inclusive and help other people figure out the way to have a seat at the table. And I certainly had many women do that for me.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That's so exciting. I love that and you mentioned all those women who did pave the way, and how important that is to have that, and breaking glass ceilings. Like you said, it's just really vital in today's world, especially. Has there ever been a time you didn't feel that support or found it difficult to be in your role as a woman in this field?
Um, I don't think there's been a time when I've felt unsupported or stressed because I was a woman. There's
Mhm.
been plenty of times where I felt stress in carrying out the city council duties. You've got people that are happy with what you're doing, and you
Mhm.
have people that are unhappy with what you're doing. You're trying to represent what's best for the community as a whole.
Mhm.
You're trying to take all of these divergent opinions and professionals uh, contributions to the issue at hand, and you're trying to mold those into something that isn't going to make anyone happy, but you hope it makes everyone feel some sense of, okay, I can compromise. I feel like that's where we can go and to move us forward. But so there's plenty of angst in the city council duties, but specifically as a woman, I really have not. Like the staff is professional, and the other city council members I work with are just fantastic. Everyone is in it because they love the city of College Station and they want to see it grow and improve. And we have a lot of respect for one another. We may differ on how we think that should come out, with the strategies to best move College Station forward. We may disagree on the strategies, um, but we are not disagreeable to one another based on any bias or gender issues.
I think that's perfect, as it should be. In any of your previous careers or roles, did you ever experience anything like that, separate from city council or city aside?
Personally, I really haven't. I haven't. I think we're entering a generation spot now where, for many careers and many life plans, we are